Hey bookworms, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'll be recommending books with witches in them. So recently over on my community section, I've been posting a lot of polls so you guys get to vote on what videos you'd like to see. Recently I posted a poll between summer reads and witchy books, and obviously this one won, but this one won by like just 2 votes because it's been 50-50 for a couple of days, and then literally about 5-10 minutes ago I checked and this one was in the lead, so that's the one we're doing. However, if you did vote for the summer reads, don't be disappointed, that video is still coming and you don't have to wait till next week, because if you've seen it on the community page, if not and you missed it, well, I made an announcement that I will be posting 2 videos a week to give you guys more content. Now, the only way for me to do this is try and learn to edit myself, because my partner's the one who edits and I just feel like it'd be a bit unfair for him to do all the editing. I've been doing really well with it so far and I feel like, you know, I really want to give you guys more content. So yeah, that's the announcement for that. Also guys, I'm really sorry if my hair looks a mess. I've not straightened it, I literally washed it, so it's just, and it needs to be cut, but it's too hot to straighten my hair. Like, we've got a thunderstorm coming as well, so if you do hear noise in the background, it's because of the thunder come in. Like, I kind of hear it now. Let's just jump straight into it with the first recommendation, and that is The Nature of Witches, one of my favourite witch books ever. This book is just very unique, in my opinion, to like every witchy books that I've read, because in this book we're following a girl who goes to this school where they help you train with your magic. And how the magic system works is we have summer witches, winter witches, spring. We have witches for each season, and in those seasons their magic is the strongest. When it's not that season, their magic is sort of like depleted and not as strong. Our main character, Clara, she's kind of different to these other witches because she's got magic that means that she'll be strong during every single season, and there is a name for it, I just don't remember. However, I believe that she learned that she had magic late, I think, so they're trying to teach her how to use her magic, so then, you know, she can be one of these really strong witches. That's really rare. And I'm not even gonna lie, some of the things that like they put her through, especially one particular teacher puts her through to try and get her to use her magic, like force it upon her, is kind of mean. I was really shocked. I really felt sorry for her. But another character is brought in to try and help train her, and there might be a little bit of a romance in this book as well. So if you are looking for a witchy book that is different, and maybe you want a book that feels like all different seasons, then this is that one, because you can literally read this book any season because they're all in it. It's just so good. Following up with that, we have another book from the exact same author, and that is Wild is the Witch. Again, this is such a beautifully written book. The setting is amazing. It is mainly set in like the woods and stuff, because we're following our character who doesn't really want anybody to know that she's a witch. Now, she works for a mum at this, like, I guess animal sanctuary sort of place, and one of the people that work there, the guy who kind of helps out, I think for like an internship, maybe I'm wrong about that, he doesn't know witches and he's not afraid to like say what he thinks. Obviously he has no idea that she's a witch, but because of this she absolutely hates him. There was something that happened with her friend a few years ago, or a year prior, and she feels really guilty for this, and I believe it's like on the news at some point and he's saying some really harsh things, and she's very angry. So one night she decides to go and create a hex that she can put on him, but she's going to stop before like she actually puts it on him, so she makes it and then gets rid of it. However, that doesn't happen because an owl swoops down, takes the curse and flies off, and now this owl has disappeared into the wilderness. She needs to go after it with the very person, by the way, that she's cursed, because if this owl dies, and the curse will then break free and not only go on him but go everywhere. It could destroy so much, so she needs to get to this owl before it dies, because this owl is actually injured, and obviously she takes that guy alone. I think her mum's the one who's like insisting that he goes. It's honestly got some of the most beautiful settings ever in this book. So another book by Rachel Griffin, who honestly is just great at writing witch books. I think she has another new one coming out that I cannot wait for. Next up is The Witch Haven, a book that I absolutely loved. But the first time I actually picked this book up, I could not get into it. And then the second time I picked it up a few months later, I absolutely loved it. In this book, we're following this girl who's working in this sort of factory, and the boss isn't very nice, like he seems to take advantage of the girls here. One day she's left alone in the factory to clean up, or she's working on something that she needs to get done, when her boss comes in and he tries to attack her. A pair of sisters come flying across the room and kill him, and she has no idea what's happened. And then the police turn up and they're going to obviously arrest her for murder because the man's dead, she's the only one there, and it's all looking pretty bleak until these nurses or nuns turn up and they say that they can't arrest her because she's actually sick and they need to take her to a hospital and it's contagious. And obviously back in that day, everyone's a bit panicked and stuff like that, so they allow them to take her. Now she's wondering what's going on, why she's been taken to hospital, because she's not sick. And when she gets there, she realises that this isn't a hospital, it's actually a school for witches, where she learns that she's actually a witch and has powers. So she's enrolled into a school where she starts to be trained how to use her magic and stuff like that. But then she starts to look into how her brother was murdered, I believe. She wants to like be able to find out how he was murdered and talk to him. But the only way to do this would be using dark magic, and obviously she's tempted because she wants to know who murdered her brother, or is it just speak to her brother? I don't know. But all I know is that basically she starts looking into using dark magic. She meets this guy who offers to help her. And yeah, this book was a lot of fun. The ending of this book was so good. Like, this ending shocked me. It was really, really good, and I cannot wait to read the next one. Next up is a book that you guys are probably going to roll your eyes at me because I probably talked about this book 1,000 times at this point, and it's kind of obvious that this was going to be on the list. So if you didn't expect it to be, it's like, really? You haven't been watching this channel long enough then? Because I love this book. Well, this series, and that is Serpent and Death, and I just smacked myself. So yes, I am going to recommend this book. I know I talk about this book a lot. If you guys haven't picked this book up, what are you doing? Pick the series up. It's so good. In this book, we are following a character called Lou, who's a witch, and we are following a character called Reed, who's a witch hunter. He's been brought up and raised to believe that witches are evil and that they must burn at the stake. Him and Lou's paths cross one day, and something happens that ends up being to the point where they have to like kind of get married. Now she's now living in enemy territory with all the other witch hunters, and her new husband is also a witch hunter, so she's trying to keep the secret that she's a witch under, you know, secret. She don't want anyone to know. But she's also got a lot of other things that's going on, like she's on the run from her mother, who is trying to sacrifice her. So there's a lot at stake for Lou, literally. And this is also an enemies to lovers romance as well. So if you love enemies to lovers, this book does it really, really well. I absolutely love this book. The writing is great. There's plenty of action and drama. There's a lot of feels. The side characters are amazing. This entire series is amazing. You guys just need to go and check it out because I love this series so much. Isn't it obvious, you know? Next up is another series that I feel like most people already heard about, but if you haven't picked it up already, then maybe there's a convince you to, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked. There are 3 books in this series. In this book, we're following a character called Amelia, I believe that's how you say her name, who is a twin and a witch. When her twin sister is brutally murdered, and she takes upon herself to try and discover what's happened. She can't rest until she knows who did this to her sister. Her whole life she's been told to keep away from the wicked, which is the Princess of Hell, but she ends up summoning one, and he tells her that he wants the same thing as her to find out what's happened. So she puts her trust in him, and they decide to try and solve the murder of what happened. This book took me by surprise. I honestly did not expect to love it as much as I did, but I really enjoyed the entire series. It's a little bit steamy as well, so if you want romance, you want steam, this book's for you. It's got that gothic vibe to it, it's got witches, it's got the Princess of Hell. Did I say princesses? The Princess of Hell in it. It's so good, and I'm so sad that the series is over now. Like, I don't know what next for this author, but yeah, I can't wait for her to bring out a new book. I'm excited. Next up is The Ravens and The Monarchs. I've read The Ravens, but I haven't actually read The Monarchs yet. In The Ravens, this girl has gone to this, I believe, like a boarding school. She gets invited to join this like group, like a society called The Ravens, and she discovers that she's a witch. This book is very fast paced, there's plenty of action, plenty of drama, there's a lot of shocking moments that happen. Like, there was something that happened in this book that I thought was pretty predictable, and then I was wrong, and so it happened, and it shocked me. But what I loved about this book was the fact of how fast paced this was, and it was such a fast read. I really enjoyed it. And I don't remember the ending too much. I definitely have to do a recap, but I really need to read this one and see what else is going to happen. I believe that there was only 2 books in this series, I think, but yeah. On the back, it says only their sisterhood can save them, and on the back, every sisterhood has its secrets. So this is a really great series. Next up is Threadneedle. This also has a sequel. I just haven't picked it up yet. I am going to, I think, because the way this one ended and the reveals that happen at the end makes me want to see what's going to happen next. In this book, we're following this young girl who lives in London with her auntie, and her auntie wants her to do something to where she kind of locks her magic up. Like, sort of thread it locked, so then she can't use her magic. Her auntie's very much against it. She doesn't want her using magic. Her auntie's also keeping like a lot of secrets. Like there's a room that's always locked, and if she even tries to like look in there, her auntie punishes her. It's a little darker than I thought it was going to be. So this book's set in London, and we have like the real normal immortal world, but then we have these elements of magic. The way the magical system is worked into the normal world works so well. You have things like an antique shop, for example, and you can pick up the receiver of the phone and hear the last ever phone call. You can pick up a picture and it makes you feel how that person felt in that moment. And there's stuff like where you can wear like the clothes or all this other like different types of stuff that you can do in an antique shop or like feel and experience. You even like have a magical library. There's so much in this book. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away, but the ending of this book was just really, really good. I feel like the ending of all these books are always really good, but there was a lot of reveals that happened that completely shocked me, and I just really loved how it was done. Like, it's a YA. It was compared to like Harry Potter, which I get with the magical side of it, but I wouldn't really compare it to Harry Potter. I've never read those books, but this was really, really good. And I understand the hype for this book, although I don't see it being talked about nowhere near as much as I see a lot of the other ones being talked about. Well, I don't really see any of these being talked about, apart from maybe King and the Wicked. But yeah, Fred Needle is just such a surprise, and I feel like more people need to be reading this book and experiencing it. Next up is The Ex-Hex. I read this around Halloween time, I think last year or the year before, and in this book we find this character who puts a hex on her ex-boyfriend, and then he comes back to town, so the hex starts to kind of like take form and things start to happen, but it's now starting to destroy the little town that she's living in, so she has to team up with him to try and stop this from happening. I know that's like in a lot of witchy books. This one I wouldn't say got the best reviews from people. Like a lot of people said they thought it was just okay. I actually had a good time reading this, honestly. It was cute, it was fun. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Oh my god, my cat. You mind? Sorry, my cat's like, yeah. And also the little town they live in is like Halloween themed, like they're obsessed with Halloween, which is just perfect. Final book on this list is Hex Appeal. I gave this book a 3 star. I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a new favourite, but it was definitely really, really cute. It's a little romance book. We're following this witch who lives in this house where the house sort of like changes or something, and when someone's been there they sort of like forget about it, and until she meets this guy who seems to remember it. I don't remember too much about this book, but I just remember it was like very cute. It was fun. It wasn't the best book ever, but if you're looking for something cute and cozy, then I definitely recommend you picking up this one. So that is, hold on, my cat's licking the plate. Get off, oi. God, it's really hot. So that is all the witchy recommendation books I have. Let me know in the comments if there's any that you love that you think I would enjoy, and I would definitely check them out. I don't know what's going on with this top, but God. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you like witchy books, picking up some of these. I mean, all of these, because they're all good. I mean, the last book I recommended, it wasn't a favourite, but you might enjoy it a lot more than I did. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and until next time, bye.